Hi everybody, welcome to a new adventure. Today we're going to do part 2 of signs, and this is going to be about the signs that we get from the universe. There's a lot of them. There's numbers, there's coincidences. So let's get started and do it while I'm still awake. It's been a long month. Anyway, okay, so the most common signs we get from the universe, deja vu. Let's start there. That's a really, really common one. Deja vu literally means already seen. Now, that could be just stepping into a place you thought you've been there before, or talking to someone and a phrase is said that you could swear you've heard this person say before. It just that, bam, just hits you out of nowhere. It's a sign. It's actually a sign about spiritual growth. It's a sign that you're supposed to pay attention to what's going on, because what's going on may contribute to your spiritual growth. Okay? Now, another would be experiences that repeat themselves, a little different than deja vu. These are patterns. I think a good example would be, okay, relationships. You meet the same person, the same type of person. Everybody might have a type, but there are things about their personality you don't know. And perhaps you keep picking an alcoholic, or, things that you wouldn't see by looking at someone, but it shows up sooner or later. Why does that happen? There is something you're supposed to learn from that. And signs are like that. They are there for you to learn from, not just warn you of. Warning might be more of a guardian angel thing, and we'll talk about that in a different video. But the universe speaks to us differently than just, hey, stay away from that person. The reason is because you're plugged in, okay? And I suppose if it's an axe murderer, then maybe your guardian angel would be the one stepping in. But the universe is a plug-in because you're part of the big consciousness. And you're needing to listen. Signs are not always easy to find. But when we pay attention, something that's off, something that makes you stop and pause, is something worth saying, hey, what am I supposed to be paying attention to? Because that's weird. Anything weird you should pay attention to. It could be a lot of different patterns. Picking the wrong partner, whatever the issue is that is not good for you, that you keep being attracted to, might be a lesson that you're supposed to learn in self-love. That, hey, I deserve better than this. And once you tell the universe, okay, I'm done with that, I want somebody that I really do deserve, somebody that treats me good, or whatever it is that you've been lacking, that's a lesson in self-love. Okay, so that's just one of many examples in patterns that repeat themselves. It could be a job, it could be a lot of things. It could be one particular relationship that, a friendship even, that just keeps going to the same problem over and over again. So you have to stop and pause on that. Repeating history has a reason. There's a reason for it. Once you learn that lesson, then you don't have to repeat the class anymore. All right, that's another video we'll probably touch on at some point. But repeating experiences is very important. And another one would be dreams. Dreams is a really big one, actually. We talked a little bit about visitations that, can be signs from our loved ones, but this is a little different. Dreams are really designed for us to navigate our life. Now, they can come for a lot of other reasons too. They could come because of certain medications that you're on. They could come because you're running a fever. They could, come for a lot of other reasons. However, for the most part, they were designed to help you navigate and pay attention. It is the brain's way of A, releasing stress from the day, B, also trying to accept what happened in the day or news that, you just had a lot of problems with. And you just, sometimes you can't sleep over it. But if you do sleep, sometimes your brain just needs to figure certain things out. And you don't remember all of your dreams. And if you think you don't dream, that was incorrect. Everyone dreams. We don't always remember them. And there's many, many, many types of dreams we won't get into now. But you can get signs in your dream because, as I was saying before, it's not black and white. I mean, the universe doesn't say, hey. The reason is because it doesn't come from the intellect. It's not from the mind. It comes from a different place. So the communication is going to be a little different in a different way. And the universe will try to get to you however, but you are plugged in. It's just our part of the relationship it's really kind of one-sided, I think. That's where we lost our spirituality and our spiritual growth. And if you feel like you need to grow spiritually to be better plugged in, then that's probably a good thing to work on. So dreams is another video I would like to do at some point, and we'll do dream interpretation. It's one of my favorite classes that I teach, and I haven't taught it for a long time, so that would be fun. And maybe we can even do a question and answer session on that. So how do you remember your dreams? Some people recommend a little bit of like a piece of crystal, not quartz, but amethyst. Amethyst apparently absorbs dreams for you. And so that's not a bad thing to consider putting like just on your nightstand. The other thing is if you have problems remembering dreams, a little notebook and a pen. You don't have to write the whole thing down when you wake up. Just write a couple key words, grandma, inkwell, and just it'll come back to you later, because to me, my feet hit the floor. And by the time I reach the bathroom, it's gone. So yeah, that's another one. That's where your universe is trying to communicate what's not just what's going on and helping you accept things, but also giving you hints on where to go next. Okay, and we'll talk more about that next time I do dreams. Okay. Numbers. Oh my gosh. I get so many questions about, why do I see this sequence of numbers all the time? Now we know about the 1111 gateway, and that's sort of an activation more than a sign. It's a wake up and a spiritual awakening, because we know we're evolving. Sometimes it does not seem like this world is evolving, but apparently we are. And so maybe you're not blessed to see 1111 all over the place, and that's fine. We also all have our own personal activation code. What you might want to look at is adding those numbers up, that sequence, and checking numerology for it. But for the most part, like my number is 234, and I see it on hotel rooms, addresses, license plates, checks, restaurant checks and receipts, and a lot of times I see it. Now there will become times where I don't see any of it. Could be like a couple years, and all of a sudden it's like every other week. Okay, why is the universe talking to me? That's also very important to realize, that sometimes you see that number and then you start seeing it on the clock or wherever, and you want to pay attention because they're talking to you. The universe is talking to you. I say they, but that's fine. That's the whole thing. I also feel that's a personal activation code that you're waking up, but they want you to pay attention to what's going on in your life right now. A lot of times when I do get these numbers, I'm worried about something. And a lot of times my feeling is that they're just wanting to let you know that everything is okay. And those are very important signs to pay attention to, because then I can just relax, and it usually does turn out fine. Okay, so I'm just touching on personal experience. Your activation code might mean something else to you, but I always suggest to people that when you see the number, just stop and see what you're most worried about in your life right now, and realize that, it's going to work out fine. Okay, you're not alone. That's a very important sign. We all want to know that we're not alone with our troubles, because sometimes we don't share them with others. Truth. Okay, so the other thing about numbers is the pattern that they might come out, and the particular numbers that you get, the sequence, sometimes they do change. And I think there's more to that than just, oh, well, I guess it doesn't mean anything because it's backwards or whatever. No, I think that there's something to it. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to teach anything that I don't feel confident in. I've just never explored any further. I know a lot about numerology, but it's not my thing. And that's fine. But when you add the numbers up, they come out to the same thing, don't they? So in any case, here's another one that I was thinking about, was illness and pain. Pain is a very significant thing in your body, and it certainly does wake you up, doesn't it? So if you get a pain in your side, or, there are things to be said about the day that I sleep all day. It happens maybe a couple of years, a little bit more since I've been on chemotherapy, but every couple of years, and I'll say, oh, it must be the rain. But for me, something has happened in the world, some kind of a disaster, and I am tired, I don't feel well, and often I'll look on the news, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one out there that could be watching this video and say the same thing. But when I really don't feel good and it makes no sense, because I'm not sick, it's nothing I can identify, or if I have a certain pain, I will look online and look at the news, and I'll look for something that I know would probably upset me. I mean, I don't follow all of the news. I try not to, because it has affected me over the years. But I just check the headlines once a day, and okay, the world is still here, period. And if you're one of those empaths, another video will do, then you need to protect your energy fields. But at the same time, don't ignore signs. Coincidence. Coincidences happen a lot. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences. But I don't believe coincidences are coincidences. I should say that. But I think that synchronicity and coincidence, it's a big confirmation that you're on the right path. It's something that comes out of nowhere, and you go, well, that was weird. Another weird flag. You should definitely pay attention. And say, well, why did that happen? Okay, so it's usually another confirmation that everything is okay. It doesn't mean like numbers where you might be worried about something. It just means that you're moving forward, and you have stepped forward, and maybe the coincidence is something that turns out it gave you a hand, right? Like, wow, that was just interesting. Now I really know I'm on the right path, because otherwise that would not have happened, right? Okay. Another item I'd like to talk to you about is when you lose something. I get so many people asking me if I can help them help them find a lost object. I do my best. I know someone who might be a little bit better at that if you need a reference, but I feel that there's a reason sometimes that you lose something. Now, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but today my cat, for instance, got a hold of my scarf. And I was texting a friend and I said, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I have to go get my cat. He's chewing on my chemo cap. And she said, well, maybe that's a sign that you're not going to need it very much longer. And at first I went, whoa, wait a minute. I'm only halfway through my treatments. Like, you know, I'm like, are you telling me something? This is not going to be good. But no, I know she didn't mean it that way. But of course, you know, I get frazzled when it comes to this chemo. But that is correct. It could have been just the universe saying, hey, you're good. However, at the same time, the cat needs to stop stealing our clothes. That's a different thing. So if you lose something, maybe you don't need it anymore. Or maybe it's something you shouldn't have. There are, I don't want to say mojo and curses and all that, but I had a piece of jewelry once that I could not get the curse lifted. It was something tribal, but I don't know where it was from. I know it was a gift from my ex-in-laws. And I know they didn't care for me, but I don't think that these Roman Catholics did curses. But in any case, we ended up having someone remove it, and then we still buried it somewhere under a riverbed, and because it was just horrendous. So this was a sign that, you know, not only was this an object I shouldn't have, but those were probably not the in-laws that I should have. And obviously they're not my in-laws anymore. So that was a blessing. But you want to think about those things. And again, a cigar is just a cigar most of the time. I don't know how to tell you what is the difference. It's more of the communication. Again, it's not coming from your intellect. And sometimes when it's the most important, you just know. I mean, you just stop dead in your tracks and you go, that was weird. So when the weird flag flies, you need to pay attention because there's no coincidences. The universe talks to us all the time. You may not see every sign out there, but the universe is talking to us. All right. So with that said, that is going to be the video for signs from the universe. So I want you to have a great day and pay attention. That's very important. Be blessed. Bye.